Hi to everyone. I'm here again with you after some pause in my videos, in my live streams. I was trying to get rest, and I needed to have more energy, new ideas, which topics to bring up on our live streams. And I consider it's more fruitful, more effective to talk with you when I have enough energy for it and enough wish. So I'm moving a little bit with my flow, how I feel. I hope you don't mind. And today I'm back, and we are talking about difference of cultures of Ukrainians and Americans. This way I named this live stream to discuss these differences. Of course, I know more about Ukraine, but I know something about US as from my clients, from my experience of working with them for, let me count, for 17 years already. So I started working in the field of international marriages, international dating when I was 19. Today I'm 36. I'm sorry. So I know something about it. And of course, I read about it to bring you more valuable information. And I will be happy if you talk with me today, if you add some comments and you share your experience. And if you are from abroad, from US, I would be happy if you share with me your point of view and some maybe new things I never knew, and maybe other people, our guests of our live stream, didn't knew. So I see that after the pause, some people lost me, so stopped to follow. But I hope from this time we can continue on a more regular basis. So today we're talking about Ukraine and US, and where is the difference between the cultures? What is bad for American that is good for Ukrainian, and vice versa. So first of all, what all the foreigners notice about Ukraine and Ukrainian people, that our people are very sincere. So if they don't like you, it's quite obvious. If they like you, they are very amicable, open, very warm, and when they invite you to their homes, they are very happy to see you, and they have many dishes on the table to greet you, and so on. And as soon as I come from Russia originally, and I'm living here for 16 years in Ukraine, but originally I come from Russia, Russian people are even more, like to say, readable in this sense. So if they don't like you, it's even more obvious than with Ukrainian person. I noticed that Ukrainians, and especially people in Odessa, are very smiling all the time, and sometimes even if they don't love you a lot, they still smile. So in Russia, people are more reserved, more closed, and if you don't know them, especially in the big cities, they are quite they can seem even kind of aggressive sometimes. But in Odessa, in Ukraine, people are very amicable, open, and this is what I really loved about them when I just changed the country and got to Odessa. I loved this about people here. And of course, they have a wonderful sense of humor here, at least in Odessa. And for the first time here, sometime here, first year maybe, I even didn't understand some Odessa jokes at all. But now I got accustomed. So these people are very cheerful, open-hearted, and if they like you, if you are their friend, they are very giving, very loving, very warm to you, and always ready to help, even during the night, or in the night if something happens with you. As for Americans, I noticed, and I heard also from people who lived there, that Americans are always positive, smiling, and if even they don't love you a lot or don't like you a lot, they still smiling and very open-hearted all the time. So some people, especially our people, can confuse it with some flirting or something like that, but Americans are like that by their nature. And this is a wonderful trait, I think, too. So what is important else to mention? Many foreigners notice that people are quite rude in public places. So if you decide to try our public transport, or you decide to drive here, you will see that sometimes people are very aggressive in public transport, like buses and so on. So this is see there is some like a contradiction when you communicate with people whom you know. They are very open and warm and kind to you, but as soon as you get to public place, when there is a crowd, many people unfamiliar, and for example they are fighting for place in a bus, it becomes disaster. So when foreigners, my guest ask me if they should try public transport just for experience, I usually don't recommend it, and because I personally don't like it, but maybe for you it can be a fun adventure. Recently I was helping my client to get into Kiev by train, and for him it was awful experience. So he had a separate compartment. Anyway, he didn't like this experience at all. Also, Americans are very usually are positive and very emotional. So sometimes when they describe things, they are inclined a little bit to exaggerate things. But the good thing is that they are usually positive. They tend to talk about positive things, see positive sides. It's not always true about Ukrainian people, and still many people say that Ukrainians and Russians are the same nation. Yeah, we separated not so much time ago, and actually we have a lot of the same blood in our genes. And the same genes in our both nations, Ukrainians and Russians. And we are not so positive, and there is like a phenomenon of Russian sorrow. Even psychologists say that our women and men too, sometimes they are like taught to have sorrow all the time, to have some these dramatic events in their life, to dramatize things and so on. It can be so, and I agree with it. And while working with local people and American people, I truly see it. And first, in the beginning of my job, I was surprised that how many of my American clients are very positive thinking, and positively estimating even their past, even their divorces, even their breakups, and so on. But it's not always the case with our people, so honestly. And still, I think Ukrainian society is changing. It's moving closer to European way of thinking, more independence, more individualism, and so on. But still, it is like a community, and people rely a lot on being in as a team, being together, and so on. In the US, I heard that there is more individualism developed. So when you come to a new place to work, for example, you will be given just general instructions, and you study, you understand your job on your own, and so on. Here, if you come to a new place, of course, if there is a good atmosphere in the team, in the company, most of people will be happy to help you to understand things, and will be ready to teach you if necessary. So when people in US grow up, they understand they should be struggling for themselves on their own, and so on. Here, people rely a lot on friends, family, and so on. And I don't know if you know about it, but it is still exists. It's also corruption, that people can have good positions in even in state government or in big organizations, thanks to their connections, thanks to their friends, families, and so on. It is still here. I don't know about US in this sense, so tell me please if it works in your country. Paresh, I read my first comment today. Paresh, thank you for your nice and kind words. I am very grateful to you. Also, just a little interesting aspect I noticed when our people celebrate birthday, for example, and they invite friends to the restaurant, to cafe to celebrate it. Usually, who invites this person pays for everyone. So it means who has birthday today, he or she pays for everyone, for every guest that she or he invited. I heard that in US it's not the case. So when you have birthdays together in some restaurants. Everyone pays for himself only. And for us, it would be very strange. And no one of the guests would understand this. But also we don't being different from US people, we usually don't write wish lists for our birthdays or for our holiday, our big events. Some people starting to practice it already, not to get as a gift all the same gifts, especially for weddings, but it's not the tradition here yet. And again, I had in US many people use this wish list when they celebrate something and want people to give them only necessary things or things they want. Some people practice it here, but it's not so well spread, I would say, yet. And many people have feel shy about it, feel like some shame to tell people what they should give them for birthday or for something. We don't feel comfortable about it yet. What else is interesting? Many foreigners here notice a lot of expensive cars, even in Odessa, in Kiev, and usually, especially in the summer, in the spring, all the good restaurants are already reserved, no vacant tables. So we should call in advance and reserve them. So many good and expensive cars, wonderful homes, like very big and very beautiful. I recently saw this near my house. I live in an apartment, and I'm on the French Boulevard near the sea, and there is a row of private houses, and I found some they are like houses from fairy tales, very beautiful, very big. But at the same time, foreigners notice that some people here are very poor. So they surprised at so much difference between people. While some people use the most expensive cars and so on, others can hardly allow many necessary things. I know that in US situation is a little different as they describe, but I guess also everything depends on the area of the city or the city itself. So please share your experience. As for the roads, our roads and traffic, again, many European and American men, they surprised that our drivers usually don't follow the rules, and they are not so respectful on the roads, and they don't follow the signs on the road. For example, they park where it's not it's forbidden. They move in a strange way. They try to be faster than the other car when it's not allowed, and so on. So it's like the lack of respect on the roads. Also, many foreigners notice that we have a wonderful cuisine here. So if you go to your Ukrainian friend or your lady, for example, if you found your sweetheart here and you visit her home with your friends, usually Americans are amazed with our food, with how we cook, how it tastes, and how many dishes on the table usually they see and they can taste. Yes, our people here, and especially women, they cook very deliciously usually. And, most of my clients notice that dishes in the restaurant are very delightful. They say sometimes that it's much better than in US and costs less than in US. So, I think it's like has something to do with the culture of food here and from ancient times. It was quite tasteful here, and it's like a tradition here to have friends all together, to have family and cook a lot and then enjoy food all together. It's like a special way of joy, maybe. So tell me please if in US you do this, and if you usually have a lot of dishes on the table when you invite friends or family members, or only for special occasions like a New Year or something like that, or Christmas. Also, when I read in the internet about difference of our cultures, I found interesting information that our people, when they work, when they gather on the work meetings, and discuss things, they can and there is some decision of the boss, for example, or some offer. Usually our people, they try to prove why not to do so. So then they're not so open for some new changes, some new things to implement. And yeah, I can say from my own experience, it was the case, and it is the case still. When I meet with my team, I have some new ideas we are discussing, and often we can hear that people are quite reluctant to do some things, and they're trying to prove why it won't work. But in US, on the contrary, they say that people tend to be positive, as I told, and they are looking for the ways how to do something rather than why not to do something. And they look for the ways how to succeed rather than to not to succeed, and so on. So tell me, please, if it's true or not, false information or not, or it depends on the company where you work. Also, I posted some time ago on my Facebook the video, not my video, someone was making it about the difference of relationships, of attitude of men to women. So here usually men pays. If you invite women to a restaurant here, you pay, and if you should have manners that emphasize that she's a woman, you are a man. So it will be wonderful for a woman if you open the door for her, if you help her with a chair, if you help her with outer clothes, if you when you sit at a table and ask her what she would like to order tonight, what she likes, and so on. So any of your actions should show her that you see, you notice she's a woman, you appreciate it, and you enjoy it. And women usually enjoy being a woman here. And again, I heard that in the US, you can have a great problems because of it, and all people try to be like the same gender, and you should try not to emphasize that she's another gender. For us, it's still different, and I love it about our country. But thanks God, I noticed that most of my clients, they are very conscious people, and before traveling here, they study information about Ukrainian laws, they read, they watch videos, and so on. And when they come here, they usually know about this aspect, and they are doing their best. And sometimes they are even more well-mannered, more caring, more warm, and more appreciating our women's nature than even locals. So it's your plus too. What else is important? Here people tend to work as much as they can, trying to get as much money as they can. Most of people like think this way. And I also saw it when I traveled to Germany, and I was really surprised that no one of the shops was working on Sunday. Here, people work, as I told, as much as they can. If they can have sales, they work a lot. And some people, they only work, they don't have normal time for normal life. For Americans, they read it's important to have work-life balance. And all the additional hours they work, they are paid additionally in a bigger rate, not like here. But still, people look after having this work-life balance, having time for their family, for their friends, for hobbies, for personal development, and so on. And I was really surprised that one of my clients. I was really surprised by this case. I never saw it in Ukraine, actually. He was a doctor, and he was having divorced. He was having 3 kids, little kids, and he told me that they are having kids. Then several days him, several days his ex. So he's devoting his time. He's taking days off. He's not getting shifts, just to devote his time to his 3 little children without mother. So it was a big shock for me, big cultural shock. But this is how I notice that humans appreciate children. They love children. They take care of them, and they maybe it also has to do something with this work-life balance. Your man understands that there is not only career, not only making money, but also that's the most important is relationships between people and relationships between my family members, your children, and this is a beautiful trait. And of course, it's necessary to mention the trust issue. I noticed that our people, they do not tend to trust a lot. And if you read about our history, about all the things that happened in our history, people are not so inclined to trust to others, so they rather check. For example, if we go to some, we are looking for some specialist, starting from doctor, then teacher for your kid, for people who make job repairs, everything. We usually ask for recommendations. We don't trust so much by people just telling they can do something in a good way. And recently I was listening to podcast about difference of online sales here and online sales in US. For example, they told when you order something online, you pay immediately online in the US and you get what you ordered. The situation is different here. There is a big net of quick post offices, how to say it, Nova Pochta, it's called. And when you order something, first you order something, then it is delivered to this Nova Pochta office. Then you come, you check the good that you ordered, and only if you are satisfied, then you pay. And sometimes people even cannot come and not to get what they ordered, so the seller is losing money this way. I had in US the situation is completely different. You just don't do this. And I also see this from the clients too. Usually, if you tell about them to how you do your work, they are tended to trust. The same is about my partners, my American partners, their favorite partners, because what we discussed with them, they always follow their word. They don't try to find some ways not to pay or something. Or the situation with the local partners can be really different. So this is a very short list of the differences between our culture and American. I hope in some time I will be able to do this live stream with the same topic once again, having more knowledge about our differences. Actually, I still dream to get to US to make a trip here and to understand how American people live, to see all this with my own eyes. And I hope it will happen. Meanwhile, please write your comments or questions that you have. And now I will read what you wrote me while I talked, okay? Solomon, hello. Thank you for following, still being with me, not forgetting about me during all these months. And thank you for your comments. Yes, I will try to be online more often with live streams with you and making new videos soon. As I told in the beginning of live stream, I had to have pause and I didn't have enough energy to do these live streams. And so we all have our business aims and so on, but I noticed when I do something, not have enough energy for it or wish or not enjoying it, things results are not so good. So I consider it's better to have enough rest and then get back to you being fresh, being full of energy, and being able to enjoy the process. Solomon, UK is a wonderful idea too. Yeah, I tried. I thought about coming to UK several years ago, but again, they told it's more difficult even than to come to US according to some rules. But maybe I still hope I will be able to travel more after all these COVID times. Okay, dear, so maybe you have some questions, some comments now. I will wait for some time so that you could ask me questions, and we will finish for tonight, but see you soon. I hope see you next week. Okay, thank you, my dears, and thank you, Solomon, for always been with me on my every live stream. I appreciate it really a lot. So we are in touch, my dears, and write me as usually if you have ideas for new topics that you would like to discuss in live streams. I will be happy. So have a nice day, have a nice morning, have a nice evening. Depends on where you are now. And see you soon, very soon.